All right, we're live. Hello, how's it going? I don't know. I think Blake
Hello.
is here. If anyone else is here, drop a little comment in the chat. If you don't know who I am for some weird reason, I'm Denali. I'm DUCHO Thrift on Instagram
Wow,
and
that
here
is
on YouTube.
good.
And I'm joined by my friend Steven, who is C Fashion Guru here on Instagram and
Hello,
YouTube
everyone.
and everywhere else, probably.
True, it's the
And
same wherever. Twitter.
I
Well, no, not Twitter. I don't know why I started with Twitter. I'm not on
Oh,
Twitter.
lead with Twitter. I like the idea that that's your main social platform.
I'm on Twitter as if no, Instagram is my main one. Yeah, but I mean, I have a profile on Twitter. I don't think I've ever done
Start
anything with it,
tweeting.
but I secured it just to be safe.
Hi, Blake. How's it going?
Oh, hey,
Uh,
Blake. Are you going to sing us a song later today?
I hope so. Yeah. So I asked Steven late last night. I was like, hey, do you want to go live with me? Because Steven and I keep saying, hey, we need to chat. Hey, we need to chat. Hey, we need to chat. And then we don't chat. So I was like, I need to make a video. So let's kill two birds with one stone. Do me a solid and come on my YouTube channel and let's have our private conversation publicly.
So everyone can hear. I know you had to twist my arm. It took so long for me to say yes.
I know, really. Well, this is your first time going live on YouTube, right?
It is. This is my first YouTube live experience. I know,
Ooh.
and I haven't even showed my face on YouTube in like a month and a half. So
Well, I have had people asking about you on YouTube, so
I
maybe this
know
was just a ploy to get you back here on my behalf. So
it could be. It could be. I know.
we can do
I
that.
have some content planned out. I just haven't filmed it or gone forward with it. And
Yeah,
it's not like it's a horrible thing. What I started at YouTube like in August of last year,
yeah,
and it was going through and it was doing good. And it was great, and it's still great. But I also figured out how much time I was spending managing my YouTube content,
yeah,
and it came out to I was making less than $3 an hour on YouTube.
yeah. It
And
doesn't
so
pay the big bucks, which people don't necessarily realize.
yeah, and I was like, oh, I don't know. So I took that time and reallocated to other things temporarily until I figured out what I wanted to continue to do with my YouTube channel
Yeah.
because I couldn't maintain the content I was putting out at the same rate. And so I'm just trying to refigure it out. And then I'm not gone 100%, but it'll be reduced, obviously, if it's been a month and a half.
Well, hopefully it's more than once monthly.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping like at least like once a week would be a good
Yeah.
could be a good trend. I'm not sure what kind of content I want to start producing.
Yeah, I think that's the tough part is just managing it all. Like, I think, it's like when you're a full-time reseller, you and I are full-time reselling, it's hard to, if you're also doing YouTube, it's hard to manage the social media part of it because, right, the thing that pays us is reselling, right? That's
Yep.
that's where we make our money. I think a lot of times people think that we're making a lot of money from YouTube or whatever, I don't know, whatever else, but that's just a really small, small piece of the pie. It's a nice little piece of the pie, but it's actually a very small one. And so finding the time to do it, like to manage, like, okay, now I need to film this, or I need some content for my channel. Like, people love watching my wet sold videos, but those take the most time
Yes.
to film because it takes the most research for me to do.
Yep.
And so I put them off most of the time
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't have
Exactly. And I love my what sold videos, and I'll probably end up doing I have one that I've been writing up, which is more about like my business changes since all of this has gone on and how I'm tackling eBay differently, which we'll talk about some of that today, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And going through that, but it was like my what sold videos, I was editing more so than the other videos
Yeah.
because I enjoyed watching them edited personally, but it
Yeah.
was also a lot of work. So like I would spend up to 20 hours a week on YouTube.
Ooh.
And because I was doing more editing, because
For how many videos? 20 hours and then getting how many videos out of that?
like about 8, which wasn't bad.
Okay. Yeah. So that's about like 2 and some odd change per video. 2
Yeah,
hours.
so it was about 30 minutes planning, 30 minutes filming, and 30 minutes to an hour editing, and then
Yeah.
posting and getting everything else out from that. So it takes up a lot of time. And I was like, well, what if I can take some of that? I can get 5 hours back personally for me to play a video game or spend time with my partner. And then the other 15 hours I can put back into reselling and continuing the list where I know that money's going to come back and I'm going to make more money from that. Though this time, right now, maybe it could be a good time to go back to YouTube and make a few videos.
Yeah. I mean, I think, just figuring out what's going to work for you. I was talking about this with Blake this past week about, just if, other people have told me this, kind of doing like batch working for it, which is just like sit down and film a few at once.
Yeah.
Even though it's not fun to film them back to back, I think that's what a lot of people do. You just change your shirt, right? And you film a few back to back. So you have them on deck.
Or you just have a uniform.
Yeah, that is smart.
Because in all my videos, I wear this black shirt that I'm wearing in all my videos. And the only thing I change are my glasses. And so it's literally, I just like, hey, time for the next video. Literally, that's what I do.
I unofficially have a uniform. I'm either wearing like a red t-shirt, a gray t-shirt, 90% of the time, or some other version of that. So I unofficially have one.
Or I would just throw a different outfit on Dolores, my mannequin.
Oh, so smart. So smart.
So then it looks like it's different, but it's like, nope, I actually filmed all these at one time.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to the secrets of the YouTube life.
Okay, so we were quickly chatting before we started, and I was saying that, one, the last time I saw you, and also the last person to be there.
Oh, your office
was at my office. Cheers! Wait, here, cheers! Ooh, I love your mug. Ding,
ding.
Are you drinking tea or coffee?
Oh, just water. I know. I wake up early, so I'm a 5 o'clock riser.
I knew that about you.
You probably just woke up, so.
I did. Well, I mean, a little while ago, but if I had a choice, I'd still be sleeping right now. So we were at my office. You came to my office. You were the last person to visit my office.
I know. It's so nice.
I know. Which I saw it listed for rent the other day, and I was
they're like, we're not wasting time.
I know. I was like, oh yeah, that's an essential thing, right? You really need to rent offices right now. But they had the price the same, which at least made me feel a little bit better in the short term because they weren't willing to negotiate down my rate with me. So I was like, it would. I mean, I know. Yeah, it would have made me sad if I saw it for like $200 cheaper, because then I would have been like, why didn't you guys just do that for me? But anyway, so when was that? When did you come visit me? Do you remember?
Oh, when was it? It was in March. Yeah, it was like the second week of March, I believe. It was the week before COVID really started hitting us. Gosh,
I didn't even realize that it was the second, that it was even in March. I would have thought it was like February. It felt like it was in March. So long ago. Okay. All right. Wow. That's like not as bad then. As I
remember I went to that Plato's and I was just doing my taxes and I was entering information. So that's why I remember it.
And now you have all the time in the world to finish that. No rush.
I know. Luckily, I finished it. But
yeah. Okay. So at that time you came and visited, you had just started getting your first wholesale, right?
Oh, yeah. So in January, after tons of research, literally on January 31st, I bought my first wholesale and I switched my business model slightly. And then from there, I've been buying wholesale ever since. And I think in February, I didn't go to a single thrift store, which was really weird. I didn't go to Bins. I didn't go to the thrift store. Looking back right now, I'm lucky that I switched during that time and switched because I still have inventory arriving at my apartment complex where they drop it off on the street, and then I have to figure out what to do with it and get it into my storage unit. I'm lucky I have storage units within my building. So, which makes it easy, but wholesale has been great. It is not the easiest to get into, but once you get into it and like figure out what you're doing, it's risky at first. And it's still always risky because you never know what you're going to get at times. Right. Sometimes you know what you're going to get, sometimes you don't. But it's a different kind of work.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to say hi to a few people in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you can see the chat on your screen also, Stephen, but there is like a tab in StreamYard where you can click live chat. It just won't let you comment.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Oh,
There
look
you
at
go.
all you wonderful people.
I know. Look at all these
Ty?
people. Yeah, Ty
What's
just
up, quick,
joined us. Laura said, look at this. Laura woke up early to talk with us. Laura Von
Hi,
V.
Laura. Thanks for waking up. We got Girly Girl. Hey, Girly Girl. Hey, Sarah.
Yes.
Look at all these people.
Tiffany and Hugo are here.
Oh, hello. What's up, my Tina friends?
I know. So many good people.
So when we were at Posh Fest, I met Sell Quick, Ship Quick, and Posh Boss Blake there. And we totally connected. We had fun. And then we became the Tina group. So from Bob's Burger, Tina. And so whenever we'd see each other, we'd do the Tina dance, which is that little gif. And we'd be like, hey.
It's hilarious when you do it from the front angle and not the side.
I know it is. It's like, hey, what's going on? You'd be like, hi, can you use the whole screen here? Okay.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, so back to your wholesale. So so you first started ordering it, was it in January or February? And then
in January. So the very last day of January, I ordered my first one. When you're doing wholesale, it depends on the company you're ordering from. Sometimes it comes within a week or two. Sometimes it can take a month. Unfortunately, I have one that is in limbo right now that I ordered over a month and a half ago. And I have no idea when it's going to arrive, which I'm fine with because they're taking care of their employees and they've closed down their shipment facility. So I can't be mad. And when it comes and it'll be great. But hopefully that one arrives because that was also the most expensive one I've bought. So my capital is tied up in that until I can get that.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. So I'm like, ooh, I want that inventory because I mean, they offered us to cancel it once, but I was like, no, I'll be okay right now. I don't know how I'll feel about that in a month if I don't receive it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say with wholesale, it takes a lot of investigating. Making connections with different people was really helpful in reaching out. Obviously, people who sell wholesale, they're not going to we can't give our sources out because that's like our strategic advantage that we spent the time investigating into figuring out how to go that route within our business, as well as there may be limited quantities of that. So sharing that information just isn't strategic for us. But I would say looking at it from a different perspective is how did I get there? I can share. And I think that's important of one, it was a lot of research. It was a lot of Googling, a lot of research, a lot of cold calling. So it's, if you've ever done sales and getting on the phone and trying to get people, usually people will say no the first time you talk to them. Sometimes you got to call them 3 or 4 times to finally get answers or to move into that direction. Sometimes calling larger companies is difficult to do and finding the right person who you need to talk to because they don't want to deal with you. They're like, who are you? What are you doing? But you have to do the research. And then you just I literally cold called lots of companies until I finally got to somebody who was in the position to talk to me about how I can get inventory from them as well. Right. So it's not easy, but once you do that work, it's rewarding for you. But again, Lux Huntress is saying, do the research.
Yeah. So Ty also does wholesale, and like you said, it's a lot of hard work and being strategic, and everybody wants to know who are you ordering from and can you talk to the source? And unfortunately, that's for people who are doing it. That's really, like you said, that's the advantage that they have. And that is privileged information because it's like doing the homework essentially, right? You did your homework. Yeah. And now that you have all the answers, you get to go out to recess and play.
And I think another piece going into it is it's also taking that financial risk. And because the first time I bought one, I had no idea. The first one I bought was unmanifested. I had no idea what I was getting. And it was a risk.
Can you say what unmanifested is for people who don't know?
So when you're buying wholesale, sometimes they have manifested where you can see every single item that you may get within that. And then they also have unmanifested where you have no idea what is in it and you're buying it blindly. Sometimes they may have a few pictures, sometimes they don't. It's just a mix of it. And so the first one I bought was unmanifested. So I had no idea what was going to be in it, what I was going to receive, could I even resell it? at
Yeah.
all. And like the 3 weeks it took from the time I bought it till it arrived at my house, like I was nervous every single day. And then it finally arrived, and I would say I was extremely satisfied, which
Oh, good.
was good
Yeah.
because I purchased a few times from the specific company, and the last one I was not satisfied with.
Mm.
So it happens. I know I'm going to make my money back,
Right.
at least what I spent on it, maybe a tad profit, but not a whole lot of profit. But it was also, you're taking those risks, and sometimes they pay off and sometimes they don't. Most of the time they have paid off, luckily. So.
Oops, sorry, I don't know what I did. I clicked Ty's old comment.
Oh yeah, we're just reinforcing that. Do your research.
I meant to click this one. Did you see what she said? She said, unmanifested, biggest mystery box ever.
Yes, it is. It's a huge mystery box, and you're like, okay.
So now, are you leaning towards buying manifested or unmanifested when you're purchasing, or do you not have a preference yet?
I don't have a preference because I haven't bought enough. I figured I feel like I need to buy like 5 or 10 of each before I like have a full preference of it. And I don't have a manifested one that's arrived yet. It's coming. So as soon as that comes, then I can go with it. It's also, then it's like, there's always could be a variance of how many items are damaged that you're not able to sell or to even repair. So like I have a whole bin of things that I'm like, I need to put a button on this. I need to do that, which I may just reach out to my mom and like, hey mom, do you want to do some basic alterations for me? Because I know I can do them, but let's be honest, I'm lazy and I'm not going to do them.
I bought a little sewing kit because I lose mine all the time on Amazon the other day. And I was up at like midnight, just like I was patching stuff because I was like, hey, you know what? I do have time for this now.
Yeah.
Now that I don't have a ton of inventory. Real quick, which Ty kind of answered this in the chat, but I'll let you answer as well, Stephen. Do you need to be registered to be a wholesale reseller to buy from them?
It depends on where you're going. I would say the most important thing is making sure that you are a registered business and within your state that you have a reseller certificate. We're both in Washington, so when you apply for your business, it's an option to select and they send it to you, so it's really easy. But make sure you're looking within your state and within the guidelines and the rules they have for wholesale and basically a reseller's permit. And if you can apply for it, more than likely, if you're selling online, you can easily apply for a reseller certificate. And that is usually required to get access to these sites for many different places or for them to sell to you. So yes, most definitely. And that's the super great question.
Okay, can we also say, where's her picture? Look how pretty she looks.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Marina. Love that veil. Just had to say that. Okay, sorry. I was just looking at
Adele's question was really good. Does this fit does this fit your business model goals? So I've been reselling since May, and I feel like I was fortunate when I started. I had a full-time job that I was able to experiment a lot. On my YouTube channel, I did a whole series of can you source from ThredUp and make a profit? And I like to investigate and like take different risks. And when I was employed, I was able to do that. So I knew I wanted to investigate buying wholesale. And so before I quit, I started saving up to spend money to buy my wholesale before I went into that. So I would say I haven't figured out my business model 100%, but switching to it was something that I knew I wanted to do because I wanted to switch to spending less time going out and sourcing and more time of just processing and listing and moving product. Which, I mean, trust me, as soon as we're all able to go out, I'm going to go thrifting again. Like I still enjoy that hunt because there's nothing better than going through the bins and finding, you never know what you're going to find. And when you find it, you're just like, how did this end up here? But I would say for my business model is still growing and I don't know what that is yet. And I'm hoping to figure that out into the next few weeks, in the next months and like fine tune it even more specifically. But mainly, how do I continue to scale my business without working myself to death and continuing my revenue? So it's just my personality. I like to investigate. I like to try new things on a consistent basis. And that's why moving to a sole proprietorship for me and being my own boss has been great because I can make a decision and figure out how much that cost is and be like, how long is this going to take me? And I'm like, that's like 2 or 3 hours. Is that worth it for me to investigate and to try? And most of the time the answer is yes, because it's going to make me happy. And 3 hours out of my day or my month is not going to hurt my revenue stream right now.
Yeah. Okay, here's another good question. Cheryl said, "Are you required to purchase a set amount of products?" So I'm going to piggyback onto that and also ask you okay, so are you required to purchase a certain amount, and or I think also just asking like how big are the pallets, because that's essentially what they are. How big are the pallets are that you're buying? And if you're comfortable saying, can you kind of give us an idea like what's the cheapest price of a pallet that you've purchased? Because I think that that's the part that usually scares people off or they're surprised to hear is the buy-in cost.
Yeah.
It's an investment.
It is an investment, most definitely. I would say.
But I also think that, sorry, just off before you answer it, is that the large cost of it, you really have to like divide it out by, right, how many pieces you're getting, because the average price per piece ends up being nominal.
Correct. Yeah. I would say that's the biggest piece of like knowing what you're getting. That's the difference between unmanifested and manifested. If you're getting a manifested, when I look at a manifest, I pull it down, I go through and I calculate sometimes they're auctions, sometimes they're not auctions. I go through and look at the manifest and figure out what I would pay if I was at a thrift store, or if I came across this item in wild, what would I pay for it? What would I be willing to? And when you have 600 items, you have to look at it in different ways, but that's how I approach those. Is if I ran into them at like a TJ Maxx or even at a thrift store, what would I be willing to pay for these specific products, and apply it to that, into that manifest, and then go from there. So some things I'm willing to pay up a little bit, to up to $20, $15. Other things I may not even pick up, and put those into my calculations. But some of them, yes, they do have a set requirement. Some of them, they're just a set price and you buy it out there. Sometimes they're auctions as well. So it depends on how many people are active in that auction, depends on what you can purchase that amount for. I got really lucky one day. I don't know how it happened, because it was really out of the normal, because usually where I usually buy my items, every single day they have an auction. I go in, at least know if I'm not going to buy, at least like look what the prices are. Well, in one of those days I did. I logged in and the price was 50% less than what they were normally going for on this random day. And so I ended up buying one that day, which was 50% more than what I would normally spend on it. But I would say for the most part, they can go anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 for the most part, or what most of them are going for that I'm seeing. Depends on where you're at and the product that you're getting.
Yeah. Okay. So cheapest ones you've spent is probably about 2,000, you're saying?
About 1,000. But that was a rarity that I don't expect to happen again.
Right.
But it was just because every single day I go in and I watch to be safe. And if this one was cheap enough, that I swooped in and purchased it, because I was like, I'm not going to let this pass me by. But normally that's an anomaly, and I don't expect to be able to buy those on a regular basis at that price.
But then in the same breath, like $1,000 pallet might have 250 pieces in there, which, if I'm doing my math correctly, that comes out to about $4 a piece.
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So again, it's in the end, it is like about the price that people are paying to thrift anyway. You're just buying a larger amount up front.
Yeah. And it's a mix of items. Like I would say I received one where the items were anywhere from $10 to a few thousand. So you never know what's going to, and some of them, and sometimes they're great. And some of them you're like, oh, okay.
What's like when you've unpacked a box, like what's the best item you found in a box before?
Oh, the best item. I have it hanging up in my room right now.
Oh, you got to sell it.
Okay, you talk for a second. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at the chat. Ty said on average with shipping, it's about $2,500. Yeah, so shipping is something that, because I've looked into wholesale before too, that you have to take into account. Shipping and Stephen can probably elaborate on this more, but I think it can cost a little bit more when you're having it shipped to residential versus a commercial place. Additionally, I believe there are charges for the delivery trucks, like for them to take it off the pallet to use the lift gate. There's usually like a lift gate charge. So although you might see a pallet for like, I'm talking about shipping, Stephen. I was saying, that all the little hidden charges for shipping, like the lift gate charge.
Yes, because I have it delivered to my house. I have to pay that lift guard. So it's anywhere from an extra $60 to $100 just to have a lift gate. Usually if you're a residential delivery, they're going to charge you more as well because it's not a commercial space. And
Yeah.
that can be anywhere from $100 to $150 just
Mm-hmm.
for delivery. So when you're getting it shipped to your house,
Yeah.
like an extra $100 to $300 just to ship to your house.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, so you have to take that into your cost. So just when people see like a pallet that might be 2,000, it's like, well, it actually might be $2,400, right?
Yeah.
You know, with the shipping all in. So you kind of have to like, it's, you have to think about the bigger picture. Okay, what's your item? Show us.
Oh, are you ready for it? This is
Hi.
really, so this one's really beautiful. So it's this really beautiful Chloe top. It's sheer
Ooh,
and it
that's
has Chloe written all the way through it. So it's
oh,
actually like Chloe embroidered onto the lace.
oh my
I
gosh.
know, it's really gorgeous.
What was the original retail value or MSRP?
So technically this isn't the best item I received, but it was normally over like $1,500.
I get why you're keeping that though, because it's just so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. I mean, if it fit me, I would wear it, but it doesn't fit me.
Does your partner want to keep it? Does he want to wear it?
No, it wouldn't fit. It's like a small, what size is it? It is I don't know. It doesn't fit either of us. So
Darn it.
yeah.
We'll
So
keep it. No, I have in my closet, Ty gave me this beautiful Dries Van Noten, who I know you love.
oh, I love Dries.
Yeah, this beautiful long, like duster length cardigan, and it's like rainbow colored. MSRP over $1,000. It's just too
Is it a
beautiful.
cardigan or is it a like a rain jacket?
No, it's like an open front, just kind of like a layer, like a top layer.
Okay.
So it's not like a knit, it's silk.
Oh, beautiful.
It's beautiful. I don't think I can ever let it go.
Right? I've had my eye on a Dries piece. It's this raincoat that's this kind of like rainbow. I forgot the full names, his name. It was a veneer. He was very popular in the 70s with that print in Dries and spring of last year. His whole men's line was involved the wave print from the 70s. And there was this it's like red with the blue and purple wave going through it. And it's like this crinkle fabric that's really beautiful. It just hasn't, from my other sites where I shop for myself, when I was able to buy things for myself, it hasn't gone down low enough. So I'm hoping, I doubt it'll go down below 150 where I'll be willing to buy it. But it's so beautiful.
Well, I don't know. Depending on how the economy goes, maybe the price will get better.
I know. Well, I haven't seen it. I have my eyes out. It's on a few different websites and it hasn't, I won't be able to buy it, but that's okay.
So, okay, so you've been ordering the wholesale, now the economy has changed a little bit in the past month. Are you feeling like, how have your sales been just in general?
I would say my sales are about 50% less than what they have been, which isn't bad. Like I'm going to be able to pay my rent and keep my lights on and do everything else. Hey, which is lucky. So that's my main goal right now. My main goal right now is to sell $100 per day. Because if that's my goal, then I know I can eat, I can pay my bills and maintain. And I may have to use a little bit of my savings, but luckily I just actually averaged out. I've been doing about $150 a day for the first 8 days of this month so far. So a little, which is above my goal. So I'm happy.
Have you noticed that sales have been picking up in the past? Well, I mean, spoiler, you just kind of said, but have you noticed sales been getting better in the past week or so?
I feel like, the past 2 days were really good, which was weird. Like I sold almost $250 to $300 each day, which I was like, you never know what's going on. But I think also like how I'm addressing my business and making changes currently right now is helping with that. So on eBay, I am going through and all the items that are ending that day, I'm ending manually myself and then relisting them. And I'm either going in and I'm editing every single title. I'm fixing all the different.
Are you relisting or sell similar?
I'm relisting.
Sell similar.
Oh, what? Tell me more.
Yeah. You want to do sell similar on eBay. Don't do relist because I was talking with Sarah Stiles about this last night. I was on her channel talking about eBay. When you do sell similar, it assigns a new item number to it on eBay. So it kind of gives it a refresh. It's not like a new perfect perfectly new listing, but it's the closest thing you can get.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Don't relist because it keeps it as a stale listing.
Oh, which, yeah. Okay. That's
So
good to know.
totally change up that.
I will do that. I will do that tomorrow because I already did mine today. But I've also been looking at the prices because obviously, if I've had something listed for 6 months and it hasn't sold, I need to reevaluate that price.
Yeah.
And so I felt like I've been selling more on eBay because of that.
Yeah.
I haven't actually done my full financials for March, but I know that my average dollar sale, which my goal was $25, is well below that. So yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I just saw a question. Catherine asked, "Can you sell similar using Vendu?" So when you use Vendu, it is just creating a new item in the system. So that's just a freshly new listed item. However, once an item has been in eBay system, you don't have to, right? But a lot of people like to end the listing and start it kind of as new. So what Stephen was doing is he was hitting relist on it. But what you want to do is you want to do sell similar. So a lot of people like to go in after about 30 days and end the item, or they'll just look at like what's ending for that day. They'll manually end those items, and then they'll not relist, but they're essentially relisting, except you're using the sell similar button, which is going to assign a new item number and refreshes the listing. So hopefully that answers that.
And so that does that through Vendu as well. If you use the delist and relist on Vendu.
Well, no, Vendu is just for cross listing, right?
Well, no, because you can list. So I use Vendu to delist and relist all the time.
Yes, that's true. But so it's Vendu is used for the purpose of creating new listings. But you don't go into Vendu and relist, do you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you do? Oh no,
yeah, so in Vendu, I go in and I take, because it says delist, so I'll delist it from the sites and then I relist it. I don't do it on eBay, but I do it on Mercari and Poshmark.
Oh, for then eBay? No, go into eBay because I don't do that, so I can't cleanly tell you what it looks like. But if you don't see a similar button on Vendu, then change what you're doing on eBay. Just manually, well, you can still end them on Vendu. Then just go into your ended listings, click on all of them, and hit sell similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry.
Okay.
That
makes sense. Yeah. Cause I was just like changing the price and updating it. But I think also like I was looking for sweatpants the other day because I'm at home all the time. And so I went to all these different websites and looking, and everyone has a sale going on right now. So when you think about our competition is obviously other resellers, but it's also Nordstrom, J. Crew, any place where they sell our merchandise that we're selling. Those are our current competitions as well. And they're constantly running sales and hugely discounting their products, which means we have to be in competition with them as well. So if certain categories and items, you're still able to maintain those prices. So like Spanx, for example, I had like 4 pairs of faux leather Spanx.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change those prices, and I didn't. But there's other items that I have lowered the prices on to be more competitive with the mainstream retail companies that are doing heavy discounts, so that people still want to buy from me instead of choosing to buy from them. And so I've been changing. That's how I've been looking at my business lately in terms of that, because it's like everyone's discounting. So that expectation is there, and what you feel comfortable with. There's somebody on Instagram I follow, and like they had this really long process about how they were doing discounts. But I would say the most important thing is don't worry about how much to sell an item. What is the minimum profit that you want to make off that item, so that you know what to sell that item for? Because if you're like, oh, well, it's trending at this price, or it's that, what is your profit that you want on an item? Because that's going to help you make a more informed decision around what to sell that item for. And that's how I've been approaching my store. And so, some things are going for lower than what the comps are, but I'm still making the profit margin that I want to maintain my business and that I know that I can afford.
Yeah, same. Obviously I've been getting like lower offers or, whatever coming through, and I've been accepting them because at the end of the day right now, like I need to make money. The market has changed. The market is not what it was 2 months ago. You know what I mean? And so for instance, I had these pair of like, I would say ugly, but I'll say unique. Unique.
Well, you know my rule on ugly. If I think it's ugly, it's going to sell.
Heck yeah, it's big money. So these like unique vintage 90s platform boots, and I had them listed at around like 190 because that was the comps. That's kind of like they were going for about like anywhere between 170 and 220. And I've had lots of interest on them, but it's for a very specific buyer. And anyways, I got an offer a couple days ago for 100, and they're from the bins. And I was like, you know what? I really want 190, but $100 would also be super awesome right now. You know what I mean? And so I took the offer. It was, I mean, like they got a great deal on them, you know what I mean, for what they're worth. But right now is the time to make money. And, you know, I can't be too picky. If I can,
I always have you in the back of my head.
Well, and sorry, just to finish, like what you were saying, it's like I needed, like, what was my number that I needed to make money at? And clearly I was beyond that because it was from the bins. So I needed to just be happy with it. And I am now. Now they're gone. Once you accept, you're done. Like you don't even care about it anymore.
And I always have you in the back of my head when I get that like first offer of a day from eBay. And it's like, you accept the first offer on eBay because as soon as you accept it, like you get a few other offers. And it's, I always have Nelly in the back of my head. She's like, accept that first offer.
Yeah, but don't you feel like it's true? Like once you accept an offer, you start getting, I'll get, then my next one, like I'll get another offer and it'll be like full price, and, or if it's not full price, it'll be extremely reasonable, like $5 less than what I was asking on a $85 item. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can have that. There's something to it. You know what I mean? Like somebody needs to write a book on like all the eBay folklore.
True, it is. Or if you get an offer and you're like, oh, should I accept it? And I shouldn't. Go to your platforms and send out offers that you want to accept for it and give it like a few hours. If it doesn't sell, go back and accept that offer because it's still there, unless that person cancels, which that hasn't happened to me. But when I've sent out offers, sometimes I'm like, all right, what is the market willing to pay for this item right now? And the people who liked it, are they willing to buy it at a higher amount, or should I accept this?
Yes, exactly. I agree with you. And I feel like just right now, also, I feel like I want to just get rid of inventory. Like, I feel like now's a great time for me to just be like, let's liquidate all this stuff because there's less coming into my inventory. And I'm kind of excited at the thought of just paring stuff down.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Weren't you at like 1,700 or something?
Yeah, roughly on any given day, right? Because I'm like, you know, I run auctions to kind of clear stuff out. And yeah, so I'm like, I would love to just come out of this with, I don't know, 30 to 40% less inventory.
Yeah.
You know?
How are you tackling those older inventory right now?
I mean, not well right now. I mean, to be honest, like I'm running some auctions. I'm trying to run auctions every week, but I'm finding, and maybe I'm not running enough or I'm not running the right items, but I'm not finding a great response right now to auctions. I don't know if I don't know if the thought of an auction feels too uncertain for people. Like, I don't know where my income will be in 7 days as opposed to something you could buy right now. Does that make sense?
No, that totally makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's the reason that they're not doing well, or if it's just my items, which very well could be my items and my price. So I don't know. I'm going to keep doing it because, right, like eBay gave us like 1 billion listings.
You get 50,000 listings.
I know. I'm like,
inventory.
I know. You said like you're ending items that are going to expire that day. I also sort them that way, except I'm ending 50 a day.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I'm ending 50 a day and then hitting sell similar on 50. I'm like, we're going to refresh 50 a day because it's not going to cost me any money. You know what I mean? Like,
no, because it's the same. Do you feel like you're getting more sell? Have you seen those items start to sell faster because you're editing them? Yeah.
So what I do is I'm ending 50 a day. And then I go in and I just do a mass. And it's really small. This is a very small percentage, but I do a mass 5% decrease on every item.
Okay.
So just across the board, doesn't matter what the original price is. And sometimes the prices look weird after it, probably like $24.92 or something like that. But so I just go across the board. I reduce it 5%. I hit sell similar. And then I do notice that some of those items that I've listed, all of a sudden it'll pop up with like, because people are watching it, it'll be like, they'll say send offers eligible.
Yes, which is key.
Exactly. And then I send out a really competitive offer and it's helped me move items.
Yeah.
So I don't know, just a thought. I don't know if it works, but that's what I'm doing.
No, I've been doing the same thing where it's like, I feel like I've been sending out the offers on eBay, but I've also like, even on Poshmark, like if I have something listed at $29, I may go in and change the price to 25 again, because of how people are searching and understanding how they're going through. Like the price points on Poshmark are 25 and less. So if it's at 29, they're not going to see that item, where if they see it at 25, it's going to show up in that sorting listing as well.
Oh, that's smart.
So that more people can hopefully see it, because if people are trying to get a deal, like, am I willing to sell it for $20? If it had it at 29, more than likely, yes, originally. So yeah.
So do you, people are asking about or saying that they have death piles or all this sort of stuff. Do you have inventory right now, or are you waiting on your next wholesale order? Like, are you out of inventory? What's your status?
I am not out of inventory. I have like 8 medium-sized U-Haul boxes downstairs in my storage unit that I'm going through right now. So I'm waiting on, I have 2 outstanding orders that one, I have no idea when it's going to arrive. I really hope so. I actually split that order. So I guess if you are doing wholesale or looking at it, if you find somebody who you trust within the reseller community who is close to you, go in on it. If you've done the research and did it. And so I was on some of the higher price ones, I really wanted to buy it, but I couldn't take on that risk myself personally. And so I found another reseller to go in and split. And she said she would be watching. So, hey, if you're out there, I'm not going to call her out. But like, we went in and split it. So we're waiting on that to arrive, which will hopefully arrive at some point. But we are taking on that risk together, which just helps financially in that. But who knows? The other one hopefully will ship. I don't know. If they ship it, I'm thankful. If not, I understand why they may not be shipping them right now. So, but I'm not hurting for inventory. I'm doing 20 to 30 a day still, which I think is random. I saw somebody ask if like I'm doing boxes or anything. Slide into my DMs on Instagram. And once I may have a few boxes available at some point. And so if I've communicated with you, if you've reached out to me on Instagram, I'll reach out to you and talk to you. Because I don't necessarily do mystery bundles, because it's not how I like to buy things. I like to kind of know what I get. So I'd prefer to have a conversation with that person and say, hey, this is what's going to be in it. This is about the price. And there's different ways you can do that. So that's how I prefer to do them. So just reach out to me if you are interested in some, if you want, like, for instance, if you just want some like basic new with tag items that retailed for $20 to $40, like, I'm happy to give them to you and to come up with a price for that, because I have tons of those items that are there and I'll list eventually, but I haven't got to them.
So maybe you should call them transparent boxes.
Or I did a video once. It was a not so mystery box. So that's how I choose to do it, because I've already done the mystery part for myself, and like, some of it may be a mystery, but I want it to be more transparent so that you're getting what you're paid for. Because you're risking your money, and if you're like part-time, or even if you're full-time, like, that's your income and that's your money that you want. So
totally. Okay. So hit up Steven if you guys need some inventory, because he probably has a lot of like $20 to $30 basics from some of his boxes, right?
Yeah. Or if you want items if you love to repair items, like, reach out to me. I have whole boxes full of them that if you love repairs, like, will partner with you to get those items.
Cool. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the small business loan. Because I know you've been up in arms about it. I mean, everyone has. Here's the problem with that small business loan and all the stuff that's coming out. There's just a lot of, like, the waters are muddy. What do they call it? It's as clear as mud or something like that. What's that saying?
I don't know. What water off a duck's back? That's different. But
totally a different saying. Okay, I think it's as clear as mud. Someone in the chat, correct me. Okay, so talk to us about what your thoughts are, what you know about it.
Yeah, so if I went on a rant, I've been going on rants on Instagram, so I don't know if people like it or not, but
we love a rant.
We can talk about my perception of Instagram and how it relates to high school later.
But
wait,
real quick before you say that, Steven, what's the best way to contact you about your boxes? Instagram?
Oh, slide into my DMs like Lizzo in Instagram.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. So small bit
Oh, it's clear as mud.
clear as mud. There we
I've
go.
never heard that saying. I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to look this up.
mud's not clear, so you're being like snarky.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You think I'd get it? I'm sarcastic. Oh, you're just as dirty as mud. Is that different? I don't. Okay. Yes, more rants, please. All right, Rebecca. I will do more rants. Yeah, because I realize people like to hear these random rants and like to share your opinions. But with SBA loans, that's what you're getting at.
Yes, SBA.
How they're being like, there's no communication. So I think that's the biggest frustration. And when I actually had to go into an office, like when me and my coworkers, my biggest thing was communicate. Even if you don't have the answer, if you don't know what it is, it's okay to say that. And I feel like that there's just a lack of communication and transparency around what is going on. So if originally it was promised that people would get a 10K grant immediately within 3 business days, and you're not able to deliver on that, just put on your website like, hey, we're overwhelmed. We have if it's technical difficulties, just let us know. But by not giving anybody any information, we're going to create our own stories. There's even a whole hashtag out there right now of the EDIL hoax that is going crazy on Twitter. And I went into this rabbit hole yesterday of reading about it. So one, I understand they're overwhelmed. There's changes. They're trying to get money into people's pockets as quickly as they can. But like, there's probably limitations within the government. Like, I worked at a retailer once that was using archaic systems. And it was so frustrating when I started there that I was like, how are you running? How is this operating? And I think of that with the government. Like, they're probably using these archaic systems that are, to make a change is it's going to take somebody 3 weeks to make one little change into one little field for them to do that. And so going in and doing that. So I just want them to communicate, because nobody has received $10,000 from the government for that emergency disaster loan that they promised would become in 3 days. And they keep on changing it. The new rumor is that it's going to be dependent on how many employees you have. So if you have one employee, you're only going to get $1,000 up to $10,000. But nobody knows if that's true, because a few people, a senator here and there, have posted it, but there's been no clear communication. So hopefully it is, but who knows what's going on with it. And at least for me, that was one that I qualified. I'm not qualifying for the PPP, or I've been binge watching The Good Fight, which is the spinoff of The Good Wife. And they just did this whole series around Trump and the PP tape, but that's different. But not saying that, whenever I say the payroll,
save that for Steven's channel.
That's what I like. That's what I think of but the payroll loan, like, I don't qualify that because it's just me personally.
Well, see, there needs to be more clarification on that, because I'm trying not to give definitive information. I had a conversation with my parent, who is
your CPA,
a CPA, who was saying possibly, and we could talk more offline, but possibly we do qualify for that.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's the problem, because I didn't think that we qualified for it either.
Yeah.
And then my person who deals with this says we actually might.
Oh, good. Okay.
But
trying to get that information is tough.
It is. And, we're not, this isn't in our regular realm of thinking, all this tax stuff. And so it's trying to figure out, small business. I was talking to Tiffany yesterday. All of our small businesses are so different and unique. You know what I mean? Small business encompasses so many people. It's restaurant owners, and then it's little people like us who sell clothing on the internet. You know what I mean? So it's hard to know what you do qualify for and what you don't. It's frustrating. So did you apply for that small business loan? If you don't mind me asking?
I applied for that. But then on the flip side too, I feel like our state at least has been doing a good job of it, is with unemployment. So we know with the CARES Act, there's lots of changes going on with the unemployment. And if you go to our unemployment site, very clear, they acknowledge that more people are going to be eligible to apply. They say they're currently working on it. They're like, sign up here for news information. Like, they're very transparent with the information that they have, and making you feel like they don't have all the answers, and they're letting us know that, but they're giving us a way to, as soon as they have it, to receive that information, which I'm grateful for, because I don't know if that's...
So you're saying we're not eligible for unemployment? Because
I was we may be, and they acknowledge that there's changes. They're not set up for it, but you can go and put your email in. So as soon as there's updated information, which they hope to have by mid-April, they're going to have that up and running, which is nice.
I was confused about that for us, in our state. Like, I feel like I was like, do we qualify? I'm so confused, because generally, like, self-employed people don't, right?
Correct. But under the CARES Act, there was a piece of part of that was it expanding it to independent contractors, self-employed, people who have a reduction in revenue. What that means, I don't know. But our state is at least putting that out there. And so hopefully by mid-April, we can have that information. And for me, it's more important to have figuring out what's best for you and your business, and understanding all the options that are available so that you can make that decision that's going to best affect you. But without all that information, it's like it takes a lot of diving and figuring it out. So
I'm just highlighting some of the comments here. Lori said, I think there's something coming out on April 13th for sole proprietors and LLCs with just one owner working. Well, I hope it's more clear than mud.
Because you're dirty as mud.
You're dirty as mud. We don't understand your legislation.
Right. Yeah.
Even I was applying for, Blake had told me about this grant for small business owners that was being given to female small business owners.
Oh, okay.
From the company Spanx.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, do not use their stock images on eBay. You're welcome.
Okay. Note to self. Thank you. I'll go change those.
I got a Vero on it. Continue.
Oh, hate those Veros. So anyways, I went and I applied for it. But again, the application process was about as clear as mud, because I went through it, and about 3/4 of the way applying for it, it was like, oh, you're disqualified. You don't qualify for this loan or this grant. But then I think I just did it wrong, because it said, like, do you have any employees? Which I selected no. But then apparently it's like, Blake and I were talking. He's like, no, you're the employee.
Oh.
And I was like, oh. So
that's the confusing part.
I know. That's the problem. Is all of this stuff is very confusing. Even with those small business loans, I was like, wait, am I counted as the employee? You know what I mean? Because I'm the owner, but I also am. I'm like, what's that?
Because if you're a sole proprietor, technically you're not an employee. By tax purposes, you're the owner and not deemed an employee of the company because you own it.
Yeah. Well, somebody said, good to see you, Stephen.
Hi, Sarah. Go back and watch the beginning of the video when we talk about where I've been on that. But I'm hoping to make a few videos here and there.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, here, Blake said, yep. Sarah Blakely's giving away the grants. Oh, Rebecca, hi, how's it going?
Hi,
thanks for joining us. Blake says the confusion is preventing people from getting the money who need it. Yes, exactly.
Or even applying for it. So like my bank, they were taking applications, and then on the second day they stopped taking applications because they just were so overwhelmed, which they're a huge, like within their BECU, which is the Boeing Credit Union, they're huge within our area, and they only took applicants the first day, and they had to stop taking applicants after that period.
Wow. That's crazy. Oh, Hugo or Tiffany said, you are all the departments.
You are, and you have to navigate it. And it's tough because it's like, if you don't have those outside resources to reach out to, or like, it's tough being like, you have to be the owner, you have to be the tax accountant, you have to be your own lawyer, you have to dive into these complicated documents that they don't make it easy to read. That's for sure. I mean, the only reason I read them is because I used to do contracts at my previous job. And so like, I would dive into these on a consistent basis, but like, that's not everyone's out there. So sometimes when I go on rants on Instagram, it's because hopefully I'm sharing information that is helpful to other people and gathering more information to continue to share from there.
Yeah. Oh, Blake said Bank of America got 60,000 applications in the first hour. Oh, I can't even imagine. I mean, it's just, the whole thing's a hot mess. Yeah.
So what has been your favorite thing so far?
What'd you say?
What have you been doing? What's been your favorite distraction so far?
Oh my God, life. That's been my biggest distraction. I don't know. Okay, so here's my new normal, right? Because
Okay.
I closed down the office. That sucked. I've I think similar to everyone, I've been on this like emotional roller coaster. Whereas like, have you ever seen that meme of like a dog sitting in a room full of fire and the dog's like, "It's fine. This is fine. Everything's fine."
Yeah.
That's what I felt like for the first week, where I was just like pretending everything was okay, and I was just like, "No, it's okay. It's fine." when not everything maybe personally felt fine. And
Yep.
so the second week, I got a little more depressed, and I was just feeling like, what's going on? I'm not productive. I'm not doing anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think I'm floating my way out of there right now, because I'm now in like the period of like, okay, this is my new normal. Like, how do I make this work? And I don't totally have that figured out. I wouldn't say it's completely ironed out yet, but I'm getting back on track. I started sending some more work to my virtual assistant, which I kind of had paused on for a couple of weeks, because I was like, let me just take care of my own listings for a while, right? Like, let's save a little bit of money, even though it's a nominal amount. But I was like, let me just do my own listings. And then I started to feel like, okay, you know what, Denali? Again, the reason you hired a virtual assistant is that I can do more work physically than she could just do virtually. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nice partnership.
Yeah.
The more I create, the more pictures I take, the more stuff she has to list. So I'm trying to just get back on. Did your partner walk in? Hello.
Yeah.
Hi. Just trying to get back on track in that way. Like, okay, it's weird. Like, we've acknowledged that, Denali, but now let's get back to work. Because, the strange part is every time I list something, I sell something. How weird is that, Steven?
Who would have guessed? Yeah.
Yeah. And then, just finding things in my home. I have no shortage of crap to sell in here. I list random stuff and it sells really quickly. My son had this like old box of Tinker Toys. I don't know if you know what Tinker Toys are.
Oh yeah, I had Tinker Toys.
Yeah. So we had this old box of Tinker Toys. I don't know whose it used to belong to. I whipped it out and I was like, let me just take pictures of this and sell it, because people are looking for stuff to do. And they sold within 24 hours for $30. So
yeah,
wouldn't you know it? I listed it and it sold.
Right.
So yeah. I'm trying to keep the algorithm happy right now by just giving it some new listings, ending listings, and doing sell similar, like I said, and trying to homeschool my son.
How is that going?
I mean, now, the state really cracked down on the schools. His school was already kind of ahead of the curve in terms of getting the technology up and running for the kids. But he does now a Zoom call every day for about 30 minutes with his class. But 30 minutes with your teacher as opposed to a 7-hour day is very different. Yeah. The other 6.5 hours I'm responsible for,
Yep.
So he does have assignments that he logs in and can do those. Obviously, he would rather play video games or watch TV. So it's just trying to be like, okay, let's stop doing this for a while. Like, cool, you've been doing that for a while, but now we need to sit down and do some work. He can't go out and play with other kids in the neighborhood, right? Because social distancing.
Yep.
So it's a challenge. It's hard. It's hard. And, my husband's working from home, but I'm the one with the flexible schedule. Like, he needs to sit down for those 8 or 9 hours and just work.
Yeah.
Whereas, unfortunately, my job can stop and start at any given moment. So it makes for less productivity for my job. And then additionally, sorry, and then I'll stop talking.
Yeah, no, go.
His job, without saying the employer for privacy's sakes, his employer made, it was like public in the news yesterday, some big layoffs and furloughs. Okay. And up until about halfway through the day, we didn't know if he was going to be a part of it. So it was a really stressful morning for us. Yeah. And luckily he was not. But, then just personally, for him, it's, kind of tough, because it's like a lot of your coworkers are now gone.
Yeah.
So, it's just been challenging.
Yeah.
But so that's life.
It's
more than you wanted, but there you go.
No, it's true. I think I feel like it's like when you get into these modes, it's like there's like I was in a random depression slump a few weeks ago. Like, I shut down everything for 2 days. Like, I went and I turned off my eBay, I turned off Poshmark, everything. And I didn't think about reselling. I didn't do anything reselling. And I was just like, I played my video game, and one, it was great, but sometimes you just have to, like, don't feel like you have to be pressured to do something. And if you need to take a day and just regroup or whatever works for you, like
Yeah.
it's okay, and you need to do that. But like those 2 days, I'm glad I did it, because I was able to refocus, refresh, and come back with a different perspective. But I was also I was at my wit's end, and I had to do it because I just couldn't. As well as I have allergies. So let's be honest, if you have allergies right now, like it's this like you throw a ball up in the air, like, are you allergies? Are you Rona? Are you allergies? Are you Rona?
Yes.
And you never know. And it's like, usually this time of year, I get really bad allergies where it's like, I get a hay fever, and I'll get a slight fever. And then like I have a post-nasal drip. So like my throat starts to hurt, and then I get like mucus stuck in my chest, and I'm like, what is going on? And I mean, luckily I've been lucky that it's just my allergies, but it's still like, it's frightening. It's frightful. And then trying to find a battery for our thermometer was a nightmare, because our battery was dead. And every place, I went to 10 different places, I couldn't find it. We finally found one at the most random place, but we finally found it. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you've yet known anyone who's been affected by the recent circumstances. Try not to say the word because I don't want to get demonetized.
Oh, yeah. We'll just call her Rona.
Yeah, the virus. How about that? I don't know if you've known anyone, but I have, and they lived somewhere where it's been a major outbreak, and they couldn't get a thermometer.
Yeah.
And so I had to mail them one.
Oh.
But that's the reality. You know what I mean? Some
people
who are in these highly affected places can't even access, personal protective equipment or just supplies that they would need to keep safe. I was just reading Blake's comment. Yeah, you don't need to be productive every single day. I posted on my Instagram, or I retweeted somebody, it's not a tweet, but I'm going to say retweeted, regrammed somebody's thing that said, this is a pandemic, not a productivity contest.
Yep.
And it is whatever you make of it, right? If you're productive, that's awesome. Nobody's hating on you. Like, that's super great. I wish, like, sprinkle some of those vibes on us. But also, if you're not productive right now and you're struggling, that's okay too. Like, and do exactly what Steven said. Turn off social media. Like, I was surprised when you told me that you did that. I was like, wow, because I just don't have that willpower to do that. But that's so, like, if you can shut everything off and that's helpful for you, you absolutely should do that. And then Liz said she's feeling the same.
With allergies, they're the worst.
Yeah, just like, am I sick? Is it allergies?
Like, I don't know.
I know. Take a minute to regroup. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, if that, like, whatever works for you, like, or whatever you enjoy the most, or like I always say, like, there's always something that's going to make you happy. Like, try to figure out how you can go through and like capture a piece of that. If it's going outside and running, if it's just dancing around your house crazy, like whatever it is, like try it. If it requires other people, like get onto a FaceTime, whatever in that aspect, just find something that is going to make you happy and try to do it, or so that you can at least hold on to it, because it's going to give you motivation. It's going to reset you in whatever sense. But then if you need to dwell and like soak in on it, do it as well. Like, because that's like, we had a conversation last night about like the impacts of food banks and people going without food and all these different things. And it's part of that's part of our life right now. And it's okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, just on that motivation note, I think as resellers, we live in that whole hustle culture of just like, go, go, go. If you're not working, you're not doing anything, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's, you got to give yourself grace during this time, as and that's easier said than done, right? It's super easy to say that. And then the minute I turn off this live, I'm going to feel like, just overwhelmed with all the things that I need to do, that I feel like doing none of them, Yeah. But if you can get yourself to do small things every day, for me, if I can focus on a small amount at a time, that's helpful for me. Like if I'm like, okay, let me just photograph these 10 items.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yes, exactly. Like then at least I can be like, okay, well, I did 10 items. I have 10 items now to send my virtual assistant. Like, yeah, it wasn't it wasn't 20 items, because I've been going through my house and just making piles of like things to resell. But then when I look at those piles, it feels like a lot. But if I can do 10 of them, that's better than nothing.
Yeah. Or if you need it, just go into the kitchen and come out of the kitchen. Go into the kitchen and come out of the kitchen.
Isn't that the best song ever?
If you guys haven't watched Posh Blake's music video at the end of one of his videos, it was the greatest. Yeah. You should check it out. You should leave it in the comments, Blake, of what video it is. I forget what the title of it is.
Well, he's got a few. He does that song in like every third video.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the album.
Yeah, the album. I want the ringtone.
Oh,
right? A ringtone into the kitchen. Let's see. Selena said, I want an assistant. I don't feel like this is a bad thing, even though my business is still small. Yeah, you don't have to be a large business to have a virtual assistant. They're pretty inexpensive. You just have to do your research. Just a personal plug. I did do a video on, sorry, I keep hitting my computer here. I did do a video on how to hire a virtual assistant. So if you're curious what that process looks like, go check out just type in El DUCHO virtual assistant. You'll find that video.
Really helpful. My other tidbit to add on to your video is if you do hire a virtual assistant, treat it like a mini interview. So what I did with mine, I used Upwork and I posted a job. And then anyone who sent me a message, I sent them 5 photos of an item and I asked them to write a description of the photos of that item. And it was something that I'd already tried to find like information. There was no stock image that I can find of it. So that they couldn't have a lot of information. They just had to use those photos to gauge how well they would do in that process. So find like a little task that they're going to do on a regular basis and submit it to them to see, so you can figure out who to move and to actually have a conversation with. And that was really helpful for me when I was working for a VA. So
are you still using a virtual assistant right now?
No, I fired both of mine.
You fired both of them?
Yeah.
Why did you fire them? Because of
the first one was I hired them. I didn't do a proper job of interviewing them. They wanted to make it work and they were trying really hard, but it was taking them 8 hours to do 10 listings, which is longer than I need. And I didn't have the time to spend to train with them. The second one, she was just overwhelmed and busy, and she was able to get them done, but I didn't feel like I was saving enough time by using the VA at that time. And then with all of this going on, I haven't decided if I wanted to revisit yet.
Yeah, that's how I was feeling too. It was just like, oh, do I want to pause for a little while so that I could, do the listings myself? But I just hate listing so much. Like if you don't mind listing, what I mean? Like building listings, like some people enjoy that. Everybody's got their weird part of this job that they like actually enjoy doing. For me, I'm like, oh, let me pay somebody else to do that. And if you can, it's really about their productivity level. Can they do it quickly and for the right price?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to.
It is. That's what figuring out, again, it's always figuring out what you're willing to pay and to like trade what is your price per hour that you're making and what are you willing to trade that? And is it worthwhile for your business? And dive into those analytics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Well, I wish I had a recommendation for somebody for you.
That's all right. I felt like I was also using it as a clutch as well. And I wasn't being as productive because I was like, I have my VA to do it. Yeah. And so I felt like I wasn't actually listing more because I was like, oh, she's going to get all that done for me. And so I wasn't working as hard personally as well. That was another thing that happened for me.
That's interesting because I get what you're saying in that respect, but also for me, I feel like I'm just buying back my time in my life by having to do that sort of stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I guess. Anything else we should talk about before? I don't know, like if you got to get going. I know the chat's getting lit here, but
I know. Is there any other questions? Do you guys have questions for us? Like throw them out.
Questions for Steven? Any wholesale questions that we possibly didn't answer? I know that some people just joined the chat now. We talked a lot about wholesale in the beginning of this video. So, go back and maybe rewatch some of the beginning. But if you were here in the beginning and there was a wholesale question that you wanted, I have a question actually, Steven. Are you making more money on eBay or Poshmark right now?
I would say, so something weird happened in March where it was actually like 50-50. And I would say that it's still 50-50. There was one week, the last week of March, it was actually Poshmark. I was making more money. I have added Mercari to the mix as well, which I'm still figuring out on exactly. I've made a few sales there, but I would say it's about 50-50.
Okay.
For sure. And I think part of it is because you can it's easier to send offers on Poshmark consistently. So like if you drop the price, they still get it, where eBay, you can only send it to them once.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So my eBay strategy for that, and I'm sure yours is probably pretty similar. I try and send my most competitive offer.
Yeah.
Just because you have that one chance,
Exactly. And I think that's important to do is like again, what we talked about, like figuring out what your profit is that you're willing to accept on the item and like send it. Because if you either want to sit, like, I don't want to sit onto items. Like my goal is to like, let's get this item out of my house and into somebody's hands who is going to love it. And if I'm going to make a profit and meet my minimum requirement, they're going to have it. So, so on eBay, that's what you can do as well.
Yeah. Sorry, there's been a few questions here. So we did kind of answer this one. Somebody said, did you say where to find wholesale? So, we did kind of explain in the beginning that, anybody who orders wholesale generally doesn't give out their sources, because that's kind of the whole thing with wholesale, is that it's finding the right person or business to buy from. But Stephen did give some tips in the beginning about how to kind of go about, making connections and calling people, and just searching the internet high and low. The quick answer to this is that there's no way to do a mass offer to likers on your entire closet, but that would be nice.
Yes. I sat down on my bed one day and I just went, like, when I went through and I did 30% off to every single item on my closet one day, just because I was feeling that's what I wanted to do that day. And it took me about an hour to do like all 700 items that were in my closet, but I did it, though I realized it was my mints. No, I did it on Tuesday. I should have done it on Sunday. So that was my fault, but that's okay. I made like $200 to $300 that day.
Hey, that's not bad. Do you use a cross-listing program, Stephen?
Yes, I think we use the same. We both use Vindo, I believe.
Yeah.
I was using this perfectly. I would just prefer the UX on Vindo a little bit better, as well as to the list and delist, specifically on Poshmark. So I've been delisting and relisting my Poshmark closet every 2 weeks. So over 2 weeks, I refresh my whole closet now.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah. And I go through and I'll like modify the price a little bit and I'll do any things here. I'm just testing it to see, because it doesn't hurt. And I'll usually send offers to those people before I take it off and let them try to buy it. And if not, if somebody hasn't bought it yet, the chances of them buying it at the price that I want them to buy it is probably not going to happen. So I'd rather just refresh it.
Yeah.
I did have a crazy buyer yesterday.
You what?
I had a crazy buyer yesterday.
Why? What'd they do?
So she commented on this item and she's like, oh my goodness, I've been looking for this item. It's the greatest thing ever. She's like, I need to run to the bank though, and then I'm going to come back and buy it. And but everything was misspelled. It was crazy. And I was like, is this person on acid? Like, what is going on? And so like, I just did it. I was like, she's like, can you hold it until 10 p.m.? And I was like, I didn't respond. An hour later, she comes in and she swoops it up for full price. And I was like, well, obviously the bank must have been open. And I'm like,
yeah, she made it to the bank.
Made it to the bank. And I was like, how are you? I'm constantly learning so much about people and open to different ways on how people live and take in their lives, which I think has been a good lesson of reselling in general.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. It's like, it helps me to remove myself from my perspective and like, what did this person do? Like, I have so many ideas of why they had to run to the bank. And I'm just like, and I create these stories in my head and they're just fantastic.
Oh, you need to stop that. Okay. Susie said, can you start off small and wholesale?
So go for it.
Well, I was just going to say, like, I have been recently, and I know that you have in the past, and this is not giving away a major wholesale source, but like, we've both ordered from B&G Trading.
Yeah.
So that's like one place that's kind of more well-known in their reseller community of a wholesaler that you can order smaller lots from. So I've been doing that recently for me just because the buy-in cost is a little bit lower.
Yes. So, my only, what I would say about B&G from my experience is
Hey,
I
whatever.
prefer to buy their larger items that are around like 25 or 50. And preferably I feel like the best ones they have currently are their Nordstrom Revolve ones, as well as their premier ones that guarantee new with tags. If you buy any of the other ones, they can have last chance tickets. They may not be 100, they may have a tag on them, but not necessarily a new tag on them. So like, that's just my perspective on them. You can watch my videos, but that's all I'll say about that one.
Yeah, no, I think that it's smart to just check your comps. Like, look, you know, because I know that some of the boxes they'll have there recently, like they had, I'm trying to think. I've seen like Soul Society shoes or something. It's like a lot of 10. You can buy 5 or 10 new in box Soul Society shoes. But I think you know, if they're giving you specific brands, then go look up comps. Like, what are comps on brand new inbox Soul Society shoes? I think when I looked it up on that one, for instance, I was like, ooh, I don't know if the return on investment is there that I want to see.
Yep.
And also a lot of the shoes I was seeing, you know, that they were showing were like high heels. And I'm just thinking, well, you know what? Nobody's going out right now. Like, nobody needs high heels. So are high heel buyers out there right now? Absolutely. They still exist, but I think it's probably less than what it was 2 months ago.
And you never know what you're going to get. I've done 6 purchases with them.
Yeah.
5 of them were great. The last one was horrendous and horrible and like dramatically different than the previous ones that I purchased from them. So it's still a risk when you buy from them. That's why I'm like narrowing down specifically on what you're going to get. Is more focused. My recommendation right now is not to buy their palette that they have available personally, because my last one it was not worth the price. I will just say that. Compared to, if you watch my video comparing that palette that I had, that one was great. And that one was cheaper than the last one I bought from them. And the last one I bought from them did not even compare or come close to what that video was. So that's the only thing I'll say about them in that aspect. But go for their higher inboxes with that guaranteed new with tags, because you're going to come down to, if you're buying like the 25 or 50 piece, you're going to be able to bring that cost of good down to like $7 to $6, which usually for what you're getting is usually pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah, or use me and Steven's affiliate codes.
Use Denelli's code. I no longer have a code.
Oh, you don't? Why'd you?
No.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, well, El DUCHO, 20% off your order. Charlotte asked us if we're still sourcing. Yes, we are, kind of, but only online.
Yeah, tons of people are sourcing online. And I think it's a great time to go. I mean, there's places having huge sales that, you know, like if you have the cash flow to buy some of those items, I think in a few months they could be really great. Or they're clearing out their winter items, which if you want to hold on to some of those winter items or even list them, as soon as like October, November comes, like those items that you can buy really cheap right now, you're going to be able to, like J. Crew jackets. I sold so many last season for like $100 to $300. It was ridiculous. So that's just,
Adele says, has anyone found liquidations that are replenishable?
Ooh, that one's the tough one. Because I think replenishable, like I think selling on eBay, replenishables are great. And you create one list and you just keep on adding to it. I have not personally. I know a few people who have, which is fantastic for their businesses, but like I would love to find a replenishable. How about you?
Replenishable in what way? Like a replenishable of like a certain, even like clothing item?
Yeah, let's say underwear, like men's boxer underwear. Like if I can find a replenishable of those, I would order a whole pallet full, because men are always buying underwear. I mean, find something that is small and cheap that you can replenish and people are going to buy.
Yeah. No, I haven't found that. I mean, I would love to find bras.
Yeah.
Like similar to what you're saying, underwear, right? Because for women, bras. Like women are always buying bras, right? You gain weight, you need a new bra. You lose weight, you need a new bra. You wear your favorite bra too much, you need a new bra.
It's the one item that we wear every single day that is going to get more wear than other clothes, and people are going to buy them on a more regular basis.
Exactly. Liz said, if you're sending offers on eBay and not sending your lowest, make sure you're doing it from the desktop to allow for offers. The app doesn't give the option for offer.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, using eBay from your computer as opposed to your phone and the app is going to give you more options. So if you're not doing that, do that. Sorry, I'm just reading through some of the questions. Sarah said she's having a hard time deciding if she wants to spend the money. Yeah. Oh, on Vendu. Oh, well, wants to spend the money on Vendu because then she followed it up with on Vendu.
Oh.
I think Vendu has like a trial version, so I would definitely
do 5 for free. You can use any, and I'm sure all of our Instagrams in our link trees you can click because they do have an affiliate program, which we'll get a small kickback if you do. But you can try 5 free listings. Even that, you can always try the lowest one that they have, and if you do enjoy it, you can move up mid-month, and they'll just reset your payment and then, which is nice. So you're not like locked in, and it's month to month.
Yeah. Have we noticed a shift in buyers' preference on certain brands or categories? Athletic wear, I've noticed, is selling quickly if I list it.
Oh, okay. I've noticed some of my more basic items are selling. Like I have, if you need a basic V-neck t-shirt, I have tons of them, but I've noticed those have been moving a little bit more, but everything else has been moving. Like I have a wedding dress that's it's still sitting there. So if you're getting married soon and you're a size 6, I have a beautiful wedding dress for you. But everything's been moving. I haven't noticed anything specifically.
Yeah. Amanda said she's selling Skechers.
Yeah, I can see that.
Sorry, I'm just going through here and reading some of the comments. Oh, Marina sold some sandals. She's got heels, but no one's buying them.
People are buying bathing suits. So so if you're able to get bathing suits, I mean, it's still either hopefully by the time we're able to get outside, it's middle of summer, so people can start wearing them. But even some people who are they want to go chill outside in their bathing suit.
Yeah. What about this one?
I am drinking more than normal. That's
I didn't even, Steve and I barely drink, and I have now a drink a night, which is a lot for me.
What is it? So there was actually a restaurant we ordered from who violated our state laws in not a bad way, but we were able to get a mixed drink from them in a container, which was wonderful. I know, that's all I'm going to say.
I mean, I think the front page, it was either today or yesterday, of the Seattle Times website was showing that now restaurants, since they can't do to-go pre-made drinks, they're selling kits.
Yes.
So that's kind of cool. I thought that was a nice little.
And I think some of them are advertising the kits, but when you go pick it up, it's the full mixed drink. So, which is even better because I'm you go to a restaurant to buy the mixed drink. You're not buying it to mix it at home. I'm not a bartender.
Yeah, I'm not.
I've been having a glass of whiskey at night.
Oh, glass of whiskey. I never had that White Claw stuff, so I bought some of that. So I've been drinking that. White Claw, have you ever seen that?
No, what is it?
Well, you know what La Croix is, right? Or LaCroix.
Yeah.
LaCroix, whatever it is. Water.
Yeah.
It's seltzer water, but with alcohol.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's kind of good. I don't know. It's weird. I also drink a margarita though. So, sorry, just seeing what else.
Vendu is awesome.
Yeah, Vendu. We love Vendu. But I've tried List Perfectly too. It's just a matter of preference. Everybody has their preference on cross-listing platforms.
Yeah, try one month, try the other one, and then the third month, go with the one that you like the best.
Yes, exactly. Marcella got some high heel sales.
48, that's a good one. Oh, Bailey's. Oh, I should have some Bailey's in my coffee. That would be good. That's Allison later on.
Oh, Rebecca's doing Prosecco every night. Ooh.
Oh, didn't you guys do those Prosecco with the vitamin C? Quarantinis.
Yeah, Blake did. A growler of beer. Yeah, that's smart.
Oh, maybe we'll do that tonight. We have we have a bar restaurant that's right down the street from us that they have the best meat in town. They smoke all their meats in their basements, and they're selling just the chunk of meats, but they also do growlers and
Where is it? What's it called?
It's called Skylark. They're a bar restaurant. They also have a really great drag show every Saturday night, which was really great. 2 Saturdays, the drag queens did the whole show on Instagram, which was really fun. That's fun.
Sarah said she's going to open a White Claw and watch her kids jump on the trampoline.
That sounds like a great day to me.
This is our friend Allison.
I know. Hi, Allison. I only
Allison,
met her once and she was so sweet, and I always was hoping I was going to run into her when I'd come visit you at the bins. Next time I come up to Everett, Allison, you're coming to the bins with us.
well, Allison has been taking a break from the bins because she's been doing some retail arbitrage in store when stores were open, but then she also does a lot of B&G. She's the one who keeps having me buy B&G because she gets amazing stuff. I don't know why. Everyone's like, oh, when I tell them, I was like, yeah, my friend Allison gets the most insane stuff in her B&G boxes. They're like, oh, it's because she must have a big social media account. I was like, she has no social media accounts.
Nothing. Yeah.
She's just the lucky one, I guess.
And she's so supportive of all of us. Like, I know she's bought a mystery box for me. She bought a mystery box for my friend Secondhand Shorty. Like, she supports everyone out there.
Allison is super awesome. It'd be even better if she was on social media more, right?
Right? Sometimes it's nice to have like this invisible force out there that you're like, you just, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Blake said, he called it Coramosa.
Oh, okay. Coramosa. Yeah. That's a good drag queen name.
Gosh, you're right. That's so good. Oh my gosh. Okay. Any final thoughts, Stephen? Because I know I've taken up a lot of your time.
No, thank you for having me. It's been great catching up. And thank you to everyone who has watched and come and joined. Hopefully you learned something, because I know that's both of our goals in our YouTube channels, and sharing random and having conversations, but then it's just also fun.
Yeah, and a little bit of maybe help break up somebody's day if they were feeling a little bit, lonely. Maybe we could help do that. I'm going to just pander for some likes real quick. If you guys, I know there's 134 people in here. We've got 45 likes and 3 thumbs down. So I think somebody hit the wrong button. That's the karma button.
This is part of life.
Yeah. If you want to make a sale today, hit the thumbs up. Let's just bring this number up a little bit before everyone leaves. Feel free to drop your closet name in the chat on the way out. If you want to, get some shares or share with other people. I'm seeing 51. We're at 51 now, Stephen.
Oh, how do I get it?
I need you to sing and dance like Blake does, because Blake.
I cannot sing. You do not want to hear that. I will break your windows, people. You will get a mass unsubscribe if I start singing.
How about do your Tina dance?
Oh, I can do that. I tried to do it sideways.
Yeah, there we go. Wait, but tell everyone what that show is. What that show's called.
Bob's Burger. It's the daughter is Tina.
You're doing some random dance here.
Yeah, I am. I'm just doing it. Who knows? Oh, I'm getting a cramp now.
All right, we're at 73. What are we at? 73. 133 people watching. What do we got to do? What do we got to do for those last 40 likes?
I mean, I guess I can sing. I only know one song really well.
I don't know if we want you to sing now that you've warned us.
I'm not gonna sing.
Wait, if we get those extra 40 likes, Stephen will put out a video on YouTube. How does that sound?
Oh, that's
there's the pressure, right?
Dun,
Well,
dun, dun.
Come on, guys. Okay, all right. We'll cut this short.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I got to hit end. There we go.